Hello students, it's Mr. Thayer here to go over the Chapter 5 quiz solutions with you so you can complete your corrections, learn from your mistakes, and prepare for the upcoming Chapter 5 test. Let's start with number 1. Solve the system of linear equations by graphing. We'll graph the equation in pink first. The y-intercept is -2, so that's the first point we plot on the y-axis, down here at -2. The slope is -1 or -1/1, so we'll go down 1 to the right 1. Down 1 to the right 1, and we'll repeat this until we have several points as well in the opposite direction so we can draw our line. Alright, go ahead and draw your line using a straight edge all the way through these points. Great. Next, the equation below this needs to be rearranged to slope-intercept. So highlighting this one in blue, let's rework it over here. We need to solve this for the y variable. So we'll remove the x term by subtracting it because that will cancel it to 0. But we do the same thing on the right side of the equal sign. Next, I have to get rid of this times 2 sitting next to the y. We'll do division everywhere. That will simplify to 1y, or y equals -4/2 reduces to -2/1 times x plus 3. With a y-intercept of +3, and then a slope of down 2 to the right 1, continue this trend until you intersect with the pink line. There's our point of intersection right there. Okay, go ahead and draw your arrows and your lines. Great. So our point of intersection for this system is located right there at that green point, which is at 5 on the x-axis, and all the way down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we believe it's at 5, -7. You can check your solution, although the directions here don't state you have to, so we're going to move on for the sake of time. Alright, let's move on to number 2. Solve the system of linear equations by substitution. Check your solution. So that means we are required to do that for points this time. First step of substitution is to isolate a variable. Well, here x is alone in the top equation, so we're ready to move on to step 2. Take that information, that expression, and substitute it for the same variable but in the other equation. So we'll write the second equation, but instead of writing x, we will substitute -8y minus 20 next to it. I'll write that in red. -8y minus 20. That took the place of this x in the second equation. Okay, now we only have y, so we're going to solve for the y variable first by cleaning up a little bit. That'll be +64y, +160, and then 6y to the 20. Combined like terms, we've got 70y plus 160 equals 20. Okay, solve for y. Move addition and subtraction first, and then take care of multiplication and division next. So when we divide by 70, we end up with y is equal to -2, which we'll check in a little bit. But let's go get the x variable now. Take -2 and plug it in for y in the top equation to solve for x. X equals -8 times -2 minus 20. X equals 16 minus 20, so x equals -4. So we believe our solution to be -4, -2, but we have to perform a check. So let's check in the top equation. Does -4 equal -8 times -2 minus 20? Well, if it checks out, both sides should equal -4. In this case, it looks like it does. So we know we're correct in the top equation. It needs to work in both. It's -8 times -4 plus 6 times -2 equal to 20. That's 32 minus 12, and that does equal 20. So it checks, you have the right solution. Okay, in number 3, you have a math club has 40 members total consisting of boys and girls. The number of girls is 5 less than 2 times the number of boys. We have to set up a system, solve by substitution, and I've already done some highlighting strategies here. First, let's define our variables. Let's use b and g in this case since we're talking about the number of boys and girls. So we'll say b is the number of boys, G is the number of girls. Now we'll set up 2 equations to represent the situation. Let's look at the pink highlighted information first. 40 members in total. So 40 in total equals a combination of boys and girls. The second sentence says the number of girls is, so girls equals 5 less than 2 times boys, so 2 times B. Then minus 5 is 5 less. Okay, so we're going to take this system in part B and substitute this information in for G. So we'll have 40 equals B plus 2B minus 5. And now we'll solve for B. So 40 equals 3B minus 5. Add 5 to both sides. 45 is equal to 3B. And when we divide by 3, we get the number of boys is 15. Now let's get the number of girls by taking that 15 and plugging it in for B. So the number of girls is 2 times 15 minus 5, which is equal to 30 minus 5, where the number of girls is 25. So our answer statement would be the boys is 15 and girls 25 in total. Very good. And we could check our solution if you have time to go back and do so by plugging in 15 in for B and 25 in for G in both equations. All right, in the bonus, for the sake of time, I've already highlighted, I've set up our variable definitions, I've drawn a picture, and I've also set up the equations that correspond to what I've highlighted in the bonus problem. The perimeter of a rectangle is twice the length plus twice the width. And then it says the length is 2 less than 3 times the width, so that is our system right there. We're going to solve this through substitution. Plug that in place of L. Now P is 36, so I should put a 36 right in there in place of P because we know that. So we'll have 36 equals 2 times 3W minus 2 plus 2W. Solve this for W. We'll have 6W minus 4 plus 2W. 36 equals 8W minus 4. And solve for W by adding 4 to both sides. And we've got 40 equals 8W. And when we divide by 8, we get W is equal to 5. So the width is 5. Now if the width is 5, we'll plug that in for W right there. And we'll get the length is 3 times 5 minus 2. Or the length is 15 minus 2. The length is 13. So the length is 13 and the width is 5, and that is your bonus right there.